Obviously, we've got 2013 coming up, but what can we expect next year from a cybersecurity perspective? What are the big issues that people are going to be dealing with?
The main issue is the next generation threat really focuses on the business assets and the business data of the organization in the data center. And protecting that has very little to do with the infrastructure security, network security, and endpoint security. These are different assets, different threats and different use cases that needs to be addressed.
So is this an attack that's going to be focused more on the data center as opposed to the broader business? Kind of what's it going to look like?
Correct. So two major vectors of attack, two major problems. One are the invited guests into the data center. So every business now needs to be online and invites a large community of users through web applications into the data center. And how do you protect against these users from technical attacks, fraud, business logic attacks, etc. And the second big problem is that with all the investment in infrastructure security, the bad guys are in your network. So every organization today is 10% penetrated by modern malware and APT that now targets the data center from within the organization.
So Imperva specializes in the likes of database security, file security, web application security. What are you going to do to resolve this issue, this infrastructure threat next year?
So Imperva provides a new layer of defense around the critical assets in the data center, web applications, storage, databases, really providing visibility and control over the usage of these assets, both by external users through web application as well as by internal employees.
And now this is a busy space though, there's a lot going on there, there's a lot of companies playing there, so my understanding is your competitors would be the likes of F5, IBM, Varonis. How do you differ to them in terms of your approach to security?
Our main competitors like F5 and IBM are infrastructure players of the data center that see security as a checkbox to their infrastructure offering. We are the only pure play, broad player that is building the security stack for the data center. When you look at traditional security stacks such as network security stack, the leaders are pure play security companies, and we believe the same dynamics is going to happen in the data center, and our pure play approach is going to win.
I mean, broadly speaking, in terms of like the cybersecurity space, some of the stocks there have had a bit of a pullback recently, but my sense is that the threat environment is just becoming increasingly virulent. I mean, how should investors perceive the cybersecurity space at the moment?
The cybersecurity space is really, really dynamic because the bad guys continue to innovate. So companies such as Imperva that address the next generation threat are thriving. When you look at the incumbent players, and the Gartner reported that in the last few years their percentage of the overall security space, software security space, dropped from 60% to 44% because they are having a hard time keeping up with the innovation. So really this is an area where new companies such as Imperva can make a big difference.
Now you're also relatively newly public. I mean, you went public in November 2011, so you're coming up for your 1-year anniversary. I mean, are you glad that you went public then rather than now?
No, absolutely. It's really important. We are seeing more enterprise, large deals. It's really important to be a long-term, sustainable public company to gain the confidence of our customers. And also this is an early stage in the market, and we need the currency in order to navigate effectively in the coming years.
Well, for companies that are looking to go public now or in early 2013, well, what do you think the environment is like for them at the moment? I mean, it's not a good economy, this one, is it?
Yeah, I think that specifically around security, this has been a very resilient category. You have to have security. The bad guys will continue to hack whether the economy is good or not. You have to be compliant whether the economy is good or not. So there's always going to be a place for good security companies.